The day is about to commence. Carnegie Challenge Cup Big Crowd. Huddersfield Giants against Hull Kingston Rovers.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the home of Hull Kingston Rovers, a resplendent looking Hull Kingston Rovers ground as the two teams make their way onto the pitch today on a wonderful summer's day. Red hot, perfect for the style of rugby that Hull Kingston Rovers are hoping to hit this season. I'll just run through the teams for you. For the Huddersfield Giants, at fullback, there's Rod Jensen. On the wings, Martin Aspinwall and Michael Lawrence, with the centres of Paul Watera and Shane Alford. The half-back combination of Kevin Brown and Lou Robinson. And a forward line, the front row, Darryl Griffin, Ryan Hudson and John Skandalis. Al Crabtree, Andy Rowdy and Steve Stitz make up the scrum pack. On the bench for the Huddersfield Giants, Stuart Jones, Paul Jackson, Keith Mason and Tom Hemingway. The team for the Rovers today then here at Craven Park in the 5th round of the Challenge Cup. At 1, Sean Briscoe. 2, Peter Fox. Centres, Chev Walker and Jake Webster. On the other wings, Daniel Fitzhenry. A half-back pairing of Paul Cook and Scott Morrell. A forward line of Mick Vella, Ben Fisher and Dave Mills. Clint Newton and Stanley Jean in the second row, with Ben Galea playing at your loose forward. On the bench for Rovers today, Garrett Crossman, Chris Chester, Kirk Netherton and Becky King. Got to say a big welcome today to a new presenter here on the gantry with myself. That's Dave Webster. Dave, hope you have a nice day, mate, and welcome to the gantry.
Thank you very much, Michael. It's good to be here, Michael. We've got the beauty of summer rugby today. It's bright sunshine, it's warm. Hopefully that will suit the mighty Rovers today, Mike.
Yeah, let's hope so, Dave. Rovers, it will be then to kick off from left to right as we look at it from the top of the west stand here. Paul Cook just realigns the ball that fell off the tee. Rovers, it is then that kick off to the Huddersfield Giants. Lets that ball bounce. Always a mistake of this sort where they can bounce anywhere. Rod Jensen taken down on his own 8-metre line. Good start from the Rovers. Quick pass out from Ryan Hudson there. Big forward there. Darryl Griffin brought to 20 metres from their own line. Passing the ball along the line. Rovers met again. Well by Chev Walker. First time hit. Bringed him down on his own 20-metre line. Passing it out wide. Go wide pretty early. Watera then gives it out. Covered by a two-man tackle from the Rovers. And his legs hit the touchline, and that's a great defensive step from the Rovers straight up, Dave.
Great defensive step, and for the first time in a long time we've actually taken a man into touch there, Michael. Makes a big difference when you start off well. Hopefully we can catch this Huddersfield side quite cold. Renowned as slow starters. Hopefully the Rovers can get after them straight away.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave. It's good to see that the wing partnership with the centre there, taking their opposite numbers into touch. It's always good to see when they can be closed down as relatively quickly as that was. Scrum down then, just inside the Huddersfield half. Paul Cook feeds the scrum, passes it left. Scott Morrell waiting. Gives it inside to Jake Webster. Fantastic signing for this club. Amazing try scoring record already. Already a cult hero, of course, with the East stand. Two-man tackle brings him down, messes about a little bit. Ben Fisher whips it out. Clint Newton. Driving them legs forward. Making his way towards the 30. He's got to get down. Got to go down. No, he's dragged into touch. It used to be when you lent your weight to the tackle, Dave, the tackle was called held, but of course now the rules have changed and it makes it a bit more difficult to stop momentum once it started, of course.
It's one of those things that does catch Rovers out sometimes. When they see the man being lifted like that, they need some backup. They need to get the players in there to help out. Looks like Huddersfield have returned the favour there on Rovers. Just setting up for a scrum to Huddersfield here. Hopefully Rovers can match that first set of 6 with another great defensive effort. Hopefully they'll cut down any silly penalties and we'll keep them pinned down here.
Yeah, good point, Dave. Obviously penalties have played an influential part in a lot of Rovers' defeats, and to stop those sort of penalties was a bigger help today. Massive tackle there, 3-man tackle. Stanley Jean and Mick Vella ably assisted by Ben Galea. Andy Rowdy there, former Hull Kingston Rovers favourite. Cheered many times by the East stand, not so much now of course. Passes it inside now. Big tackle on him as well, on the 40-metre line. Two-man tackle, he's going forward. Pick him up and dump him to the ground. 8 metres short of the halfway line. Hull Kingston Rovers back into the defensive line. Ryan Hudson giving his orders from dummy half. Luke Robinson whips out there again. Kevin Brown inside pass to Rocket Rod Jensen, who scored a very dubious, well it wasn't dubious, it was an offside try last time those Huddersfield Giants played it at Craven Park. Ryan Hudson scoops from dummy half. Clint Newton meets him well, brings him down. 5 metres into the Rovers half. Passes out there, Luke Robinson. Little kick over the top, a little nothing kick really. Must be played for territory. Well picked up there, Daniel Fitzhenry. Drives it himself. Comes 18 metres away from his own line. Making a two-man tackle from the Huddersfield Giants. Briscoe then at dummy half. Gives it to Peter Fox. Massive tackle there. Massive tackle. John Scandalis lending his weight to Ryan Hudson there. Bengalia. Ever willing takes a drive to the 30 metre line. Ben Fisher. Having a glance where he's going. Gives it to captain Mick Vella. Big Al Crabtree, of course, nephew of the famous Shirley Crabtree, the wrestler. Brings him down. Clint Newton there. High tackle there. Nope, referee's not seen it, unfortunately. Two-man tackle anyway, grounds him on the halfway line. Paul Cook looking for the gap. Great kick. Dissects the two Huddersfield players. Rocket Rod Johnson then grabs the ball at the second attempt. Steps on it. No, he had a look for the pass. Decided better of it. And Rovers now dragging him back. That's fantastic tackling from the Rovers. Bringing down 15 metres. Clever tactical kick there from Paul Cook, Dave. I think they've just got to keep him about this side of they're in the right sort of areas where you want them if you played them in this sort of day.
Well, Rovers seems to have settled quite well here. They had a good set of 6 there with Mick Vella doing his best with his Freddie Mercury tash. Not sure if it suits him or not, Mike, but anyway, at least it's not affected his tackling any. Rovers now need to just back up that good set of 6 with a good defensive effort. Good tackle there by Cook and Chev Walker. Brown now playing the ball out. Rovers looking solid there in defence.
Yeah, looking good so far. It's about keeping it up for the full 80 minutes, of course, as we speak about week on, week out. Gives it out wide then. Luke Robinson probing for the gaps. Looks to have kicked that ball a little hard. No, Sean Briscoe decides, I'm not going to wait for you. You're coming with me. It's our pace to Sean Briscoe. 100% every week, that lad. Fearless, absolutely fearless. Brought down 5 metres from his own line. Peter Foxton having a look again. Relieving some of the weight from his forwards, which is going to be important today because these forwards are going to go through a lot of hard work in this, what can only be described as searing heat. Yes, I did say searing heat here at Craven Park. Oh, Jake Webster just brought down there 22 metres from his own line. If he'd missed that, he was away. Daniel Fitzhenry looks on the outside. Yeah, he's getting a penalty. He had no option really. Thoroughly encroached on his 10 metre mark there. Never at any stage in that process did he have 2 feet behind the referee's mark. Ben Fisher then taps it inside, gives it to Scott Morello, feeds it on to Stanley Jean. Stanley Jean bows his head. That's another penalty. Mr. Bentham certainly penalising him for offside. Why the referee decides that they want to be the focus of attention, I'll never know. Why don't they just let him go? Paul Cook then, booming kick. Good 30 metres made. Takes it up to the Huddersfield Giants 20 metre line. Ben Fisher it is, plays it inside. Stanley Jean takes a good one in there, brought down 15 metres from the Huddersfield line. Ben Fisher again acting half. Paul Cook backing out the orders there. Goes right. Clint Newton. Gonna go himself, just brought down there. All over him, Kevin Brown. Obviously likes him. David Mills then, big man, been a great signing for Rovers, made some great yards. He's got a fantastic teacher, of course, in Mick Vella, who's going to get the ball. No, he's not. Miss out pass. Paul Cook brought down 8 metres from the Huddersfield Giants line. Mr. Bentham sees a little knock on there from Paul Cook. Unfortunate, but enterprising play all the same, Dave, and that's the way to go if you're going to beat teams like Huddersfield Giants on what is a fantastic day at Craven Park.
It's the first real bit of pressure there by Hull Kingston Rovers. First bit of pressure that they've put on. It's just a shame that Paul Cook just knocked on there. But it's looking good here for the Rovers. They started off meaning business, which is good to see. It's just, as we always go on, week after week, no matter which fan you are, we want a full 80 minutes from the mighty Rovers this week. I do have a really funny feeling that we're definitely going to go all the way this year. Huddersfield now just bringing the ball away from their 10 metre line. Another good defensive set here from Rovers would be a really good thing here. We can keep Huddersfield penned down, put some pressure on. I think we could have there could be some tries here today.
Yeah, pressure. That's another good tackle from the Rovers. 22 metres from the Huddersfield line. Just pushed off the tackle there. Scotty Morrell. Tackler's way above his weight, of course. Massive in defence for the Rovers this season. Luke Robinson having a little tinker about there. He's got to go into touch there, I would think. Nope. Brought down in a 3-man tackle. Bengalia, Jake Webster and Daniel Fitzhenry rises to his feet. Passes it inside. Big Al Crabtree. Dips his shoulder. Goes again. Offloads, fantastic offload, must be said. Got to meet them there, Rovers. They've got a man overlap, that's just slowed it down slightly, the ball bouncing. You can't allow them silly offloads, it's got to be brought down quick, fair. As it is, they make their way to the 35 metre line from the Rovers, Hull Kingston Rovers try line. Kevin Brown then gives it inside again to the little playmaker Luke Robinson. Been a great signing for the Huddersfield Giants. In my opinion, the missing link from last season for the Giants. Daniel Fitzhenry. Evan Willing takes the ball up to his own 15 metre line. Sean Briscoe gives it inside. Peter Fox again having to have a look. That cat, I don't possibly know how that could have been missed, to be quite honest with you. It's quite clearly taken high, not once but twice. Still there you go. Ben Fisher runs into the marking pair. Sean Briscoe gives it inside to Stanley Jean. Stanley Jean bounces off one, bounces off Kevin Brown. That's reefed out, referee. No, it's going to get a knock on. Well, 7 minutes into the game and already a couple of things that haven't been seen that should have. That hard tackle was crazy. I can't believe it, Dave. Week on, week out, you get these referees paid a lot of money to do a job and they fail to do so. It's
amazing how, the referee was right in front of that situation there, and how he missed the high tackle, I'll never know. All right, there where the ball was reefed out. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But the high tackle, how they missed that, I don't know. You're quite right, Mike. Referees are now full time. They get paid for this. You'd expect them to get it right. Another suspect tackle there, could have been slightly forward, not given. Rovers now just got to front up here and make sure they make the tackles, don't miss any. Good tackle there by Paul Cook. Straight in there, straight in the face. Ben Fisher joining in. Just make sure they don't give away the penalty, Mike.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it, Dave? This close to your own line, you don't want to give them any more emphasis. Another set of 6. Watira then passes to Chev Walker inadvertently. Chev Walker tries to retain his feet. No, that's the second effort. Mr. Bentham spots it. Says you can't do that, Mr. Jensen. You may be quick, but you're not that quick for me not to see. Paul Cook then kicks it, gains 16, 17 metres for the Rovers. Ben Fisher plays the ball inside to Paul Cook, who gives it to Captain Mick Vella. Takes the drive on, passed it on and over the halfway line. Holding down a little bit there. Everybody stood in front of the referee. Clint Newton. Big handoff from Clint Newton. Fantastic one. He's got to go down though. Got to be careful not to get dragged into touch, because it's once you start, your momentum will take you all the way. Ben Fisher then. Great miss out pass. And again miss out pass. Scott Morrell now. Jake Webster meets it at pace. Brought down 27 metres from the Huddersfield Giants line. Little bit of patience now, Rovers. Have a think about it. Stanley Jean has a little think. Gives it to David Mills. Taking it steady for his team. Great yards made from David Mills. Takes it to the 9 metre line. Ben Fisher pops one out there. Morrell miss out pass. Jake Webster brought down 7 metres, 8 metres from the Huddersfield line. Got to get a bit of snap in this place. Just lacking a little bit of snap at the moment. Paul Cook searching after that kick. He's got to get in there. Kevin Brown just waltzes away from the defence. That's a much needed tackle down the 30 metre line, because that was slack defended from the Hull Kingston Rovers, having put the kick deep into the Huddersfield Giants dead ball area. Must be said, Hull Kingston Rovers have fallen off some silly tackles at the moment. The defence isn't up to much. Aspinwall then takes it from dummy half, gains another easy 15 metres for the Huddersfield Giants. Rovers just sleepy a little bit at the moment. Resting on the laurels after last week, and that's no good. They've got to pick it up a bit. That's a decent tackle. 7 metres gained. Ryan Hudson pops out there. Jake Webster's got to make his man. Michael Lawrence there, juggles with it a little bit. Juggles, bubbles, and nearly drops it, but he's tackled well by Daniel Fitzhenry. Al Crabtree again. Having a look where he's going to offload it before he's even getting there. There you go, you can see that quite clearly. Inside to Ryan Hudson. That's just silly play by Rovers. Popping, bouncing off all the tackles, but not getting on to the men. Got to be careful not to give a penalty away there, Mr. Walker. Lord Robinson, I would expect the miss out pass on a kick. Got to get there first. That's a lucky try for Huddersfield. It will all come down to whether it's onside or offside. It's going to the big screen. No more than Rovers deserve at the moment, because they're playing absolutely awful. Had no sort of momentum. At the moment, it stands out like a sore thumb that there's no recognised scrum half as well, because there's no organisation that they play the balls, Dave. We're looking for gaps, looking for people that's out there. Then when it comes to our turn defending, they're getting easy meetings every time.
Well, Rovers committing the cardinal sins there of dropping off the tackles instead of fronting up and getting in the faces. This might be given offside, this. We're waiting on the decision from the wise man up in the box. Could be offside. It could be that Rovers get away with this one. Can't say that Rovers deserve to get away with it, in all honesty.
He's offside.
Yeah, I think it could be offside. The crowd are shouting it. The crowd's shouting it. Rovers players moving out. But Mike, how many times have we said it this season? Rovers just seem to go to sleep after a great start where they're fronting up with a good set of defensive six, keeping Huddersfield penned back. Lapses and Huddersfield are up the other end. They're that sort of side. You can't do that with teams like Huddersfield because they will score against you. Looks like Rovers might just get away with this one. Very lucky if they do. We're just waiting. We're all on tender hooks. Crowd getting agitated, thinking it's shouting for the offside. The way the players line up, I think they think it's offside as well. He's looking at least half a yard offside there. We reckon he could be offside. What do you think, Mike? Is it going to be given or is it going to be no try?
When it usually takes this long, it's usually a case that it's a positive for the scoring side, to be quite honest with you. We'll have a look now, the big screen's circling round. Yep, he's going to try. Quite clearly offside in my opinion. At least a yard offside. Hull Kingston Rovers players have made their own opinion of it as well. They'll all come back out for the tap, play the ball, restart.
Try for the Huddersfield Giants in the 13th minute, score by number 4.
Well, like I say, let's not cover over any cracks here, ladies and gentlemen. The Rovers have got what they deserved in the opening 12 or 13 minutes of this game because they've been the worst side. Huddersfield has shown more enthusiasm, better awareness, better play the balls, great offloading. Sometimes lucky, but that's what gets when you're willing to risk your arm, Dave. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. On today's occasion, it's paying off big style for Huddersfield Giants.
Well, we've already said we're lacking the scrum half with the organisational skills, and it's kind of been shown up at the moment because Huddersfield are looking the more dangerous side. They're getting the offloads. They know exactly where they want to be, and Rovers are committing the cardinal sins of stepping back, dropping off the tackles, and a good kick there from Luke Robinson. Huddersfield now 6 points to nil up now, and it's no more than they deserve really. As we've been saying right throughout, Rovers just falling asleep, dropping off the tackles. Huddersfield looking by far away the more dangerous side. It's all started with a great run from Kevin Brown from under his sticks, and by the time Rovers got the first tackle in, they're on the halfway line. As I've just said to you, Mike, we can't do that sort of thing against teams like Huddersfield because we're just going to get penalised.
Yeah, I think the proof was in the pudding in the 24 drill when we thought we had it wrapped up. Went to sleep a little bit there when we got done in the second half, of course. Still, let's get on with this second half here at Craven Park. Hope the Hull Kingston Rovers can pull this around and turn this result around. 2 tackles gone then. Still he makes yards from the 2-man tackle. 32 metres from his own line. Brought down there, 40 metre line. Hull Kingston Rovers in a 2-man tackle. Ryan Hudson's dictating this game from off half. He's scooting, he's shuffling, he's offloading. Hull Kingston Rovers are struggling to put up with him at the moment. Kevin Brown then goes for the kick. Sean Briscoe watches it studiously into his arms. As I've said before, very, very, very careful young man is this young lad. My tip to play for England in the World Cup this year. I think on a week to week basis he's been fantastic for the Robins. Hull Kingston Rovers then bring the ball to their own 35 metre line. 3-man tackle from the Huddersfield Giant. Ben Fisher fades left, goes right. Mick Vella met low on a tackle by Ryan Hudson. Nice and low, they can't go nowhere without the legs. Dave Mills has a look. Gains 10 metres. Mick Vella's still on his own, looks to have taken a bit of a knock there. Ben Fisher then over the top there to Scott Morrell. Scott Morrell going for a touch finder. Got to bounce backwards for him. No, just bounces out a touch. It's nearly an inch perfect kick. Just a yard too much pace. That's the sort of thing he needs to do. They're going to be turning around quick because the referee will blow the whistle. There you go. Got a big up in defence, Rovers. Jake Webster drives his shoulder right into the chest of Big Al Crabtree. No, I can't see why the problem was with that. He never went on his head. He let go of his leg as soon as he went over. Once again, Dave, penalties. Something has to be done about the penalties. I understand Justin's had a word with all the team, and they're telling them that the penalties are costing them dear. Why did we fail to learn on a week-on, week-out basis that penalties ultimately against class opposition, which every Super League side is, will cost you matches?
Well, we've said all through this season the silly penalties have been costing Rovers. Again, it is another one which sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not. But it's just giving the referee the opportunity to blow his whistle. And now Huddersfield, right now down on the Rovers 35-metre line, from being in their own defensive 20. Rovers have got to start fronting up into Huddersfield's faces here and stop the offloads. Huddersfield looking to rip Rovers apart down the wings. They're spreading it out wide really well. Another good ball. Kevin Brown going in. Good offload. And it's an easy try there for Ryan Hudson. Easy try right next to Rovers' post. They just cut through Rovers like a hot knife through butter, Mike.
Pathetic. That's the only word I've got to say to that. Pathetic. The travelling skateboard full of Huddersfield fans look very happy. That's quite awful actually when you consider that. That's supposed to be a away support, but there you go. They're happy, we're not. The big crowd here today, when all else are failing to bring in a crowd for the Challenge Cup, it seems that Hull Kingston Rovers have hit the magic button. The new opening of the East Stand extension, of course, adding to the numbers on that far side. Upstairs in the seats where we are, it's very, very full again. Unfortunately, the team's not putting a show on from. Well, if you keep dropping off tackles like that, you're going to get penalised. And that's exactly what's happened. Yep, Luke Robinson knocks over the extras to make it here at Craven Park. Hull Kingston Rovers 0, the Huddersfield Giants 12. Rovers got a real lot of picking up to do here. They need to charge out in this set, and in my opinion they need to get a score on the board pretty quickly. Very, very inept performance so far. Paul Cook got it is, kicks off. Andy Riley tries to get a foot on it. Very luckily goes back to Rocky Rod Jensen. Aspinwall has a look, gets met well, very well, two-man tackle. Big David Mills and Ben Fisher decided he was going nowhere, and that's exactly where he went. Out wide again to this wing. I don't know if they've foreseen a weakness on this wing, but they're coming across this way quite often. Inside then, Paul Jackson. Brought down 25 metres from his own line. Looks like we're going to have a double substitution for the Hull Kingston Rovers, with Garrett Crossman and Ben Kane about to take the field. I don't think Ben Kane's enthusiasm will go, Mr. Dev.
Rovers certainly need some inspiration from somewhere, because at the moment, Huddersfield are just bossing this match, Mike. Got to say, Huddersfield are looking good. They've come with an obvious game plan to get it out wide, maybe take the early kick, another early kick in the set there, putting pressure on Rovers. Briscoe now bringing it out, just gets over the 20-metre line. Good run back there by Briscoe there, Mike.
Yeah, like I said, he's a solid player, very reliable. Danny Fitzhenry trying to have a scoop from dummy half and gets a good 10 metres. Met well in a two-man tackle though. Second effort there from the Huddersfield Giants. Peter Fox again, certainly running that ball in quite often today. Yep, Ben Kane on for David Mills then. One of the forecast changes that we just spoken about. Ben Fisher then gives it inside. Clint Newton. No, it's given a knock on. Quite what that was, I don't know, because that ball quite clearly seemed to go backwards. But Mr. Bentham has his own rules, and he's sticking by them. Huddersfield head and feed then. 35 metres from their own line. Again, Rovers adding to their own downfall here. It's hard not to be not pessimistic, Dave, because they're not giving anything to grab onto. Usually you can come, you've had a spark of brilliance by one of them. Unfortunately, today's falling apart somewhat at the moment, but having said that, it's only 20 minutes into the game, so there's a good hour to pull it back yet.
Well, I think the only thing we can really cling on to is the last match of last season, where Huddersfield were doing a job on us, and we came back into the match from a very similar position, from 12 points down. Let's just hope that the Rovers don't let any more silly penalties away and let any more silly points in. But Huddersfield definitely looking good. That had to be obstruction. Referee says nothing wrong with it, play on. Huddersfield still making easy ground. He's come back for it. Mr. Bentham must have had somebody having a little word in his ear there. Coming back for it. This is where Paul Cook going to make some yardage. That's what we've been missing all year, Mike. At the start of the season, the penalty kicks, we weren't making the most of it. Now Cook's back. We're getting right down there. We need a good set here from Rovers. Hopefully a score.
Yeah, I think it's imperative we score next. That must be said. I don't think you can give a team like Huddersfield 18 points regardless of what they're playing like at the moment. This is a Huddersfield team, of course, that's lost the last 4 games. Had a wonderful season last season, of course, after losing 7 on the trot. Scott Morrell misses out a man, gives it to Jake Webster. He's trying to fight him off. Takes 3 men to bring him down, 8 metres from the Huddersfield Giants line. Snap out, Rovers. Scott Morrell inside to Bengalia, sells the dummy. Tackled. Again, 8 metres short from the Huddersfield line. Got to have a bit of a decision maker here. Somebody's got to take the decision. Scott Morrell met high in the tackle. Is that a try for the Hull Kings Rovers on the far side? No, he's going to go to the big screen. Scott Morrell seems pretty happy. Unfortunately, Mr. Bentham doesn't at the moment. We're going to have a look. And I'm sure that was a try, to be quite honest with you, Dave. I'm sure his arm stretched out, right hand, put the ball on the line. I think if that's the score we need, that could it could turn this game around if the jump on the enthusiasm shown by Mr. Morrell himself should score on the try.
Well, Scotty Morrell there showing great determination to get the ball over the line. It certainly looks good from here. I think that's going to be given, Mike. It's just what the doctor ordered in the nick of time. We needed somebody to take responsibility, and Scotty Morrell steps up to the plate, scores a great try there. Under pressure, 3 men on him, stretches over the line. Brilliant try that, absolutely brilliant. Let's hope that Cookie can now get the conversion, Mike.
Yep, he's one of the league's best kickers, is Paul Cook, in my opinion, of course. Yeah, East Park, West Park erupts to the sound of the try on the board for the Hull Kingston Rovers. Crowd a bit quiet today, but that becomes, of course, the feed off the team, who haven't given much at the moment. That's a great try at a great time for Rovers, and a super right arm from Scott Morrell plonking the ball on the line. Let's hope it's the start of things to come. Paul Cook then to take this kick. He's round the corner, right-footed style, as I say every week, Seawall. Bobs down, has a good look at it. 1 step back, 2 to the left, strides up, kicks the ball. East Stand will tell you. Yep, bangs out over. This makes the scores here in the 24th, 25th minute of Hull Kingston Rovers 6. The Huddersfield Giants 12. Great try, Dave. Much needed. Come out of vital time. 15 minutes to go to half time. Let's hope we can push on, get another one. Even pinch the lead before half time, Dave.
Would be very nice, wouldn't it, Michael? We need more of the same there from the mighty Rovers. Great timing. 17 minutes now to half time. Hopefully this is the start of the Rovers fight back. Can't resist it, Michael. I'm going to have to call him Paul Cook. We were all there at Workington the other week. Couldn't resist it. I'm surprised East Stand haven't started chancing it. But this is what we needed. We needed to get the fans going again. It'd gotten a little bit flat because the Rovers' performance up until that point had not been the greatest. Let's hope now we can get the ball, have a good set of 6, put some pressure on the Huddersfield line. Because that was only the second time, Mike, that we've been up in there inside their 10.
Yeah, great drive from Mick Buller, pounding them legs. Great 25-metre drive from his own line from Captain Fantastic. Gives it inside to Stanley Jean. Everything seems a little bit more bumped up at the moment. It's amazing what a try can do for you. Stanley Jean then messed about again at the play of the ball by the Huddersfield players. Gives it inside. Bengali, a massive handoff on the young winger Michael Lawrence. He'll think it's next Thursday, I think. Ben Fisher then. Slammed to the ground in a 3-man tackle. Scott Morrell gives it inside to Paul Cook. Gives it inside again to Clint Newton, who charges his way. He's just short of the 40-metre line of the Huddersfield Giants. Last tackle for the Hull Kingston Rovers. Paul Cook sticks the bomb up. It's swirling, it's twirling, it's... Rocky was knocked on! Yeah, it's going to be a knock on, yeah. Well, look at that from Briscoe, fantastic follow. That is absolutely ridiculous. How on earth can he say that that ball went backwards? That is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, Bentham. I'm absolutely amazed. I'm aghast at what's just happened. I'm sorry, guys, but that is just crazy. Somebody somewhere, of course, has had a word in his ear. I won't tell you what the East Stand and the West Stand are singing, but I concur, Dave.
That was a diabolical decision, Michael. I mean, we all know the Rocket Jensen, he's suffering from a loss of confidence after last week against Warrington, where if you put pressure on him on the high balls and kicks through, he's not the best, most sound defensively. And again there, how that was not given as a knock-on, I have absolutely no idea, because it was just Rovers with a great bomb. Hopefully we can do the same. It's a turnover. Rovers now, if they can get going here, Rovers, get down into the Huddersfield 10. Who knows, Mike? Huddersfield have got a very frail confidence over the last couple of weeks. If Rovers can put the pressure on, you never know here. We could get level and second half run away with it. We can all hope. We've got to believe.
Yeah, great word, Dave. Dave? Who's Dave? Great word, Dave. Believe, which is what all Kingston Rovers are going to do at the moment then. Stanley Jean takes the second play up to 18 metres from the Huddersfield line. Ben Fisher then, inside to Bengalia. Gives it again to Mick Vella. I'm going to look for the offload. Got to keep that ball close to his chest. Benke Kane, enthusiastic Benke Kane, always looking for something different. Fantastic kick. That's a great job for the Rovers. Daniel Fitzhenry scoops through to a Benke Kane kick and scores in the far left-hand side corner. Mr. Bentham unable again to give it himself, although he stood completely in line when Benke Kane kicked the ball. Once again though, taking the easy option of going to the big screen. Passing on his wages again, I suppose. I'll give that to somebody else because I'm not well, he's inept into, let's be honest. Yeah, fantastic try for Rovers. I believe he's just checked the ground in, so I'll take that back on Mr. Bentham. No, he's checking the offside. I don't know, I couldn't see that clearly. It's quite a long panned angle from the screen. But if the Huddersfield Giants can get a try off their kick, I'll be amazed if we can't get one of ours. Yeah, it's a fantastic try for all Kingston Rovers. Daniel Fitzhenry keeping up his amazing scoring record for the Rovers, Dave. Absolute pleasure to have him here at Craven Park. What a scoring machine, eh? And we said we needed to score next, and exactly what we've done.
It's a great comeback here by the mighty Rovers. A brilliant run there from Benke Kane. We're all thinking straighten it up, but it was obviously maybe a set play because that was a beautiful kick through from Benke Kane, and what a great finish. It's just what we wanted. Rovers now, if Paul Cook can get the conversion, we're back level, man.
Yeah, it's going to take a good kick from Paul Cook, of course, on that far side, but if anybody can do it, Cook can.
Try for all Kingston Rovers in the 31st minute, sponsored by Quick for Ankle scorer, number 5, Daniel Fitzhenry.
Nah, he just faded that one to the right. I didn't want to speak, I didn't want to put him off. I think he can hear me up here, Dave. Here then at Craven Park. It makes the score. So Kingston Rovers 10, the Huddersfield Giants 12 with approximately 10 minutes to go to a half-time break. Huddersfield Giants need to get the Zimmer frames out because they're not walking fast enough. Paul Cook's already had a word with Mr. Bentham about the time wasting tactics, shall we say, of the Huddersfield Giants, and none of them look that eager, Dave.
I've got to say the turnaround is absolutely amazing in the last 5-10 minutes. Rovers now keyed up, buoyed by the 2 tries. Huddersfield look as though they've had the stuffing knocked out of them a little bit there, Michael. They're looking very slow, they're looking a bit tired. Oh, good take there. And a good run back there by Bengalia, straight to Rovers 20. I've got to say, Mike, the transformation is remarkable here. Rovers looking well up for it now, whereas the first 10-15 minutes, we just went at the races.
Yeah, it's all about momentum, Dave. Obviously, that's got to have gone backwards, referee. I cannot believe what he's just done. He's trying to make a name for himself. He knows he's on grandstand. Have a look at me, everybody. What an absolute plonker I am. Absolute plonker. Really, really pathetic refereeing again from Mr. Bentham. The ineptitude of these referees on a weekly basis is beyond me. It really, really does get worse and worse. As it is then, the referee himself has given the emphasis back to Huddersfield Giants. Bengalia scrags his man, Scott Morrell scrags his man down to the ground there. The newly on Keith Mason brought down in a 3-man tackle, including the Rovers number 8, Garrett Crosswood, has had an interchange there with Mick Vella. Kevin Brown now, outside. Rod Jensen Chev Walker meets his man. Head on. Knocks on. Double knock on there. I sure we had the advantage, Mr. Bentham. Should have gone to Specsavers, son. Never mind. Mr. Bentham does award a decision in the Hull Kingston Rovers' favour. And it shall be a Hull Kingston Rovers put in 10 minutes from their own line. Dave, we do this week in, week out. Myself and Daniel, we criticise referees. What I can't understand is how they can get it so wrong so much of the time. We're not asking for miracles here. We just want them to call the game as they see it. That was clearly not a knock on. His hands were facing backwards, the ball went backwards and was jumped on by a Rovers player. What can we do to make these people realise that they've got to make the right decisions to make the game a fair one?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it, Michael? I mean, at the end of the day, as you quite rightly said, referee should have gone to Specsavers on that one. Good run there by Rovers, bringing the ball onto the 35-metre line. But as you say, Mike, these referees, and actually, to be fair, Bentham is actually one of the better ones. Thank goodness we haven't got Clown, otherwise you really would be in trouble. Rovers now bringing the ball through. Ooh, Garrett Crossman nearly breaking through the tackle. Scott Morrell passes it out. Paul Cook puts up another high one. This will put Jensen under pressure. Is he going to drop it? Oh, he's dropped it. Briscoe's got it. Jim Walker. Oh, Peter Fox. He's in the corner. What a great try. As we've been saying, Rocket Jensen, very fallible under the high ball. He drops it. Briscoe's on him. Passes it out wide. I can't see there being a problem with this, Mike. It's gone to the big screen. Bentham just cannot make a decision for himself. I can't see why it's gone. He's maybe looking at the offside, but I couldn't see anything wrong with that, Mike.
No, well, we'll soon find out. But like you say, a magnificent turnaround from the Rovers if it's a try, because ever since Scotty put his arm over the line for that try, there's been a massive pick-up from the Rovers. They've wanted it that little bit more, and the crowd's rising to them. They're giving them the feedback they need to pick themselves up. There's no wrong with that whatsoever. He couldn't stop, he never stopped his run. Only thing I can think of is he's tried to get in for an obstruction when he's took him out when they run through. Yeah, Dave just said he thinks it's TRY. Well, we shall know in a moment. Rovers players have made their own minds up, but that wasn't such a good omen last time. Yeah, he's knocked on there. It's a terrible knock on by Rocky Rod Jensen. He's never a fullback as long as I've got an all in me bucket.
Got to say, I think Rocket Rod Jensen definitely needs a bucket or bread basket there, because it's a good sign for Rovers though, Mike, because every time we put him under pressure on the high ball, so far he's dropped it, and from that one we've just scored a perfectly good try in my opinion. We're going to get the decision. Paul Cook's already lining up the conversion. I think this has got to be given, Mike. I don't want to put the kiss of death on it, but it's got to be given. The crowd thinks so, they're all chanting, and it is, it's given, it's a try for Rovers. Rovers now surging into the lead. Huddersfield's confidence, I think, could be attacking. Mike just called it right. I think Huddersfield's confidence could be a little bit in tatters. Paul Cook now just lining it up. It makes a big difference this season, Mike, having try-scoring machines on either wing. We've got great centres, we've got great wingers. Makes a big difference. So much more potency there. But it was great to see Briscoe following up so quickly there. People know all about his defensive skills, but sometimes I think his attacking skills get underrated, Mike.
Yeah, if you've got people that can score tries and people that can make them, inevitably you're going to score them. And in this type of weather, with our Antipodean connection, we should be scoring many. I must apologise for saying the hole in the bucket jar, but our cameraman Roy's nearly had a heart attack. Huddersfield then kick off. As Hull Kingston Rovers hit the front here at 16 points to 12. Just short of half time, can't be no more than 3 or 4 minutes to half time. No, my mistake. 8 or 9 minutes to half time. Peter Fox takes another relieving drive for his forwards, as he has done all day pretty well. Inside there, Chris Chester, fresh on the pitch. Fresh from injury and looking eager. Great tackle there from the... You can't believe it. He's knocked on again. He's given the Huddersfield Giants the ball back on the 20-metre line, and unfortunately there for Chris Chester. 3-man tackle, but he did drive him back, slam him into the ground and force him to knock on. Hull Kingston Rovers then trying to defend this set of 6 just in front of their own sticks. Keith Mason Drives it well, but equally well tackled in a 3-man tackle there. Frankie Kane and Ben Fisher. Garrett Crossman immediately into him. Luke Robinson, got to watch that miss out, man. That's where he's going. That's him, man, there. Can't let him go inside. Jake Webster there, bigs up in defence, and a massive tackle from Jake. Takes him and spins him back onto the 7-metre line. Played away then. Luke Robinson, miss out pass again, as he always does. And another miss out pass, which gives Rovers the advantage in numbers. Paul Cook there, great tackle. Jumps on the back of the centre there. Got to stop him there. Yeah, he's drove back. Well, going to give a penalty there, I think, to the Huddersfield Giants. Yep. Mr. Bentham again, taking the spotlight. I notice he's got his blue boots on today. I think that represents the words I want to call him. All blue. Still, Hull Kingston Rovers with another set to defend 5 metres from their own line. Start off well. Miss out pass again to Robinson. Inside, clever ball. Shane Eltham getting through a great deal of work here for the Huddersfield Giants. He's a world-class centre, of course, in my opinion. Great tackle from Briscoe, coming on the back. Seeing the danger, thought the man was going to scoot through. Tackled him, just short of his line. He's got to stop him turning round in that. Don't let him fall to the floor, Rovers. Yep, tackle him over the line, he's going to go back 10. That's a knock-on, referee. Yeah, he's given the knock-on. Huddersfield Giants have knocked on there on the Hull Kingston Rovers line. Hull Kingston Rovers to get head and feet, 10 minutes on the own line, yeah. Great set, doubling up in 2 sets of 6, never easy to do. Brilliant defence.
Yeah, brilliant defence there, Michael. The transformation in Rovers from that opening 10-15 minutes is a lot reminiscent of last week. We started off slowly with that one, and look what happened. We went and beat the Umbugs, didn't we? This week, similar sort of thing. The more the game's gone on, more Rovers have got into it. I think that set just sets the tone now for Rovers. They had the attitude of thou shall not pass, and Huddersfield didn't, and eventually came up with the mistake. Although, how the penalty again was given, Mike, I don't know. Mr. Bentham, you definitely need some new glasses. If my granddad was here, he'd be chucking them at you, mate.
Fitzgerald then. Just as Peter Fox has done on the opposite wing, helping his forwards out. Scott Morrell goes to dummy half, gives it inside. Garrett Crossman tumbles onto the 40-metre line, where he's brought down in a 2-man tackle. Scott Morrell again at acting half. Pass there, Jake Webster looking for the gap. There he goes for the gap. Left, Low Robinson just clings onto his shoulders there, holding the ball as well, so he can't offload. El Crabtree was about 4. I think that all comes down to go, Chef Walker now. Gives it inside to Benky Kane. He's got to have a look for the gap. It's brought down quite clearly, chipped. No, the referee says play on. You can't believe it was quite clearly stuck his leg out. Sean Briscoe then, Scott Morrell. Hit Rod Jensen on the 32-metre line from his own post. That's just a pathetic decision, I'm afraid. Again. Yeah, I've just had a text from fellow co-commentator Daniel, who's in hospital today. Get well, Dan. Who said, "My God is Silverwood," which I think says it all about Bentham's performance today. Good message, Dan. Yeah, better soon, mate. How we go then? Forward players passing it on one to the other. Elford passes it out wide, gives it to Michael Lawrence. Inexperienced winger there for the Huddersfield Giants. Met well by Jake Webster, 40 metres from the Rovers line. Last tackle signals the referee. I won't be surprised if he waves that back to 1. That's just the way this referee's been played at the moment. Chester's got to grab him there. Is that a turn, referee? Got to give him it. You can't believe it. Rovers have fallen off these tackles. That's a knock on. Fitzgerald now with a chance. Chev Walker's got to go around his man. Well tackled. Bounces off both his centres. Well, of course, Rod Jensen played fullback today. Well, actually, he's not. He's been swapped. Rocky Rod's been taken from fullback. His awful start to the game at fullback, which wasn't held by was held by the fact by Mr. Bentham decided he went backwards off a 4 yards forward knock on. Kirk Neverton then on the pitch for Ben Fisher. Peter Fox going round. Oh, he's got to be careful there. Bengali received the ball in almost at exactly the same time as the man came for him. Great fend off there by Bengalia. Brought down then, just short of halfway line. Jake Webster puts it inside now. Chris Chester off the ball. Off the cuff, really quick pass there. Benky Kane met it well. Drove the ball in well. All offside there again. Scott Morrell goes himself. Yeah, he's got to give the offside there. It was quite clearly in front of the referee. I think it pains him to do so, but that's exactly what he's done. give Rovers the decision. No, go for touch, Paul Cook. You've got all the momentum in the game. Why would you want to go for two? There you go, he taps it. Gives the ball out wide. Kent Neverton. Up to Clint Newton. Clint Newton has a look, goes down. Learned his lesson from the early part of the first half. Neverton again. Has a little word with Crossman as he passes him, says, not you, mate, it's Charlie's ball. Gives it out to Ben again. Ben Cook. Quick play the ball. It's what we need, a bit more snappiness. Scott Moore meets it well, tackled well by Big Al Crabtree, knocked to the ground, swatted like a fly, Dave. Sean Briscoe, out to Cook. Gives a slight straight inside pass there to Jake Webster, who messed it well, but was tackled well. Netherton again, who's put a bit of zip in the play the ball. That's a try for Ben Briscoe. Have we got a Ben Briscoe? I thought it's a try for Sean Briscoe. Once again, Mr. Bentham goes to the screen. I don't think we can criticise him for that one, Dave, because there was a dubiousness about the way that the ball got behind the line, but I don't think there's any doubt in that. Sean Briscoe actually grounded the ball once he was on top of it.
Again, Briscoe putting his body on the line for the Rovers cause. We're just hoping that this could be a try. It'd be a fantastic try if it is. But there, again, we don't like moaning about referees, but again, sometimes you just can't help it. But Rovers looking good, looking very dangerous every time they have the ball. Here we are, we've got the replay. Definitely not offside. Your question now is grounding. I think that could be a try, that might. Again, Briscoe putting his body on the line. Dare I say it, he could be the best signing that we've had from the Black and Whites this season. Everybody goes on about Paul Cook, but I think Briscoe could be the man this season.
Yeah. Brilliant player. And a great try as well. Did well to reach back, scoop him through with his leg. Briscoe looks in a bit of pain down there actually. Let's hope he's not too badly injured. He sits up and takes a breather. Took a bit of a bang in scoring the try. Here comes the decision. It's a try for the Hull Kingston Rovers. Brilliant try. Briscoe stretched his right leg. Managed to kick the ball into the in-goal area of the Huddersfield Giants. And touched that ball down to put the Hull Kingston Rovers in the lead here by 20 points to 12. Yeah, fantastic turnaround here at Craven Park then, where the Hull Kingston Rovers were slow on the blocks. Young Master Briscoe's having to come off. I think that'll be to get some stitches in a bright, nasty looking head wound, Dave. He's bleeding quite profusely from the head. That's his looks gone.
Well, not that he had much in the way of good looks beforehand, but Briscoe coming off the pitch, coming off to a massive round of applause from the Rovers faithful. Rovers fans, we always appreciate when Rovers players put their bodies, put a great amount of effort into the game, win or lose. But what a great time to score a try, right more or less smack on half time. All we need now is just to see out the kick-off. Go in at half time, 22 points to 12 up, because I can't see Kookie missing it. And Paul Cook definitely gets the conversion. Well, hopefully this is going to be a case of we told you so. When Rovers got the try back first try, we said that it could be the start of a great Rovers fight back. Rovers, since that point, have just been the dominant force. I think Huddersfield are in need of half time here, Mike.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think we need to take a break and listen to what John Sharp's got to say. Not that he often makes sense. He did play for Hull, of course, so he's not going to be that clever. Huddersfield then get the game away in the 39th minute of this game, going into the 40th. That ball bounce, which is always dangerous. Frankie Kane's got a bit of work to do just to get it clear of his own line, which he does. Goes to ground immediately. Must say he did well there, because that wasn't easy. 2 men allowing the ball to bounce. Big fella then grabs the ball, scraps it, makes his way 5 yards from his own line. It's important to see this set of 6 out now and just take it to half time. Great run there by Garrett Crossman, who was coming to his own in the last few weeks, I think. Having taken a bit of sledging from the fans pretty early on the season about not making enough meterage. I think this sort of weather will be conducive to his type of play and his fitness, of course. There he goes again, Garrett Crossman, eager today, eager for work. 5th tackle then, Rovers. Done well to make it just short of the 40 metre line. Scott Moore will look for the 40-20 as he usually does. Shane Elford then, who's dropped to full back, of course, in place of the ever fantastic Rod Jensen. That should see it through to half-time now, unless Mr. Bentham gives a penalty. No, this last player. There you go, that should be the half-time out there. Yep, that's half-time here at Craven Park. With a fantastic turnaround from the Hull Kingston Rovers. That gives us a half-time score here at Craven Park of Hull Kingston Rovers 22 to Huddersfield Giants 12.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the competition sponsors Carnegie going around the pitch with their special Rugby League Master Blaster. They'll be firing limited edition Carnegie Challenge Cup t-shirts into the crowd. Come and get your hands on all these special